Welcome to my drawing class, where we will be looking at the color of Klaas Heufer-Umlauf. Klaas, which means class. Then we got Heufer, which means to pile. And then we got Umlauf, which means to get in circulation. When a surname is about the outer features, right, which are visible to the eye, they kind of form a spell for the future in society. So when you got more names as a surname joined with ashes, then you become less single-rooted, and about the surname, it's something to do where humans came from or what their profession was, and also places they kind of lived at and stem from. And when I say what they do, it could also be inner callings or the profession chosen by their parents. So now you got the surname of your parents. But the surname does not really reflect our emotional inner world. Emotions are more like in a nickname or in our name, as long as you use names that are human, sort of, and have a tradition. When you start inventing names and you take it like, the stars do it, they got like new names for their product, which is their child, and they call it the product name like Apple or Storm E. Or when the invention was Marilyn Monroe. So Marilyn, you get two women there, Mary and Lynn. The name that you have as a nickname, for example, is filled with emotions. So that one could be a product. Somebody calling you Apple because your name is Appleton. That might be a name, right? Not a surname, a name. So the label is like the surname, but your inner being that changes from moment to moment, is within your name. So when you have a name that is Häufer, to pile things, or somebody that makes piles of things, that's this Häufer here. He kind of gets rich on the go because he makes piles. So because he's Klaas Heufer-Umlauf, he makes piles of good things, and also he learns from the best, I guess, and he thrives very well. When you know that it's not possible to pile lifetime, for example, then you of course go for the quality time with your surrounding. It could be the nature or other people. So things not pileable, you recognize. And then you form a inner kind of a deepness because you're a quick learner there. Others learn a day before they die that they're not gonna take this and that with them, the friends and their goods. So the deepness results sort of in an artist's life. Good. Wisdom, you cannot pile because they are an intermediate stage of a journey in learning. You can pile books, we all know that, but you can't pile wisdom. It's always knowledge you can pile, but wisdom is always changing. Vowels, 2 A's. We can say that A, E, I, O, U. A is the most open because your mouth is in German, Klaas. The most relaxed mouth position this is for this A. And this results in a laid-back person because you are hearing a lot of A. Stop. So someone hearing a lot of relaxed sounds becomes more relaxed. So he's a relaxer. He can. And the E is not to look at, and the O also isn't really important. The O is feelings and E is no feelings. E, no feelings. O, a lot of feelings. But A, I, and U is the 3 kind of vowels that kind of, make open. A, E is very tight. I is in between, then comes the E, the mouth position. And then you have, after the tight, the doorstep, the E, you get to the sending U, the antenna. That one becomes important later on because we have a lot of U's also in his name. A, being open, also is formed like this when you do eurythmics. It forms a ball. You're open for putting things into, and he has even 2 of them, so he has a huge ball. And since he can accumulate things, he has even more of those accumulators within his name, in the A's and in the word Heufer, that one we had here, making piles of things. Hebrew was a constructed language. Latin after that one was too. So the roots of the words, they stem from human brains, of course, are mere inventions. But in Syrian and Aramaic, the real languages, I call them here, they have roots of words that stem from nature. They have evolved. These have not evolved. They were just like invented within a day. That one took ages. So because he has that Klaas in his name, you could also read it Klaas or k or both of those. He has k, but it also could be a softer C or a ch. It's all the same, but that letter actually exists. Like, the k is a crackling of firewood, or you cut wood. It stems from nature. So even though maybe, things, words as a whole, don't resemble something we have deep connections with, the single letters we do have connections to. That one is formed more up front in the mouth than the that one is deep in the throat, and k is more in front. So the initial energy of his name, it starts with this k, is kind of hard because he has a k. A h would be softer, right? So his k is more a compressed h, you could say, in energy, right? So he has more energy, but it's basically the same root. That's how I see it. Then the L is always life, circuit, the life circle. This is, and it's got to do with water. Water has a life circle as well. And it's basically not the birth giver letter, that would be B, but it's, giving birth is a something happens, birth, and then you live. Birth, short, life, long. So life, a continuity thing,